And hello, one and all, and welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Reviews Friday Night Smackdown Review and Results Show. I am the one and only Wrestling Doll, and I bet some of you have missed me from last time. Unfortunately, couldn't make it, but the people that were here, Bad Guy and EC, of course, did what they did, and they did a good job as always. And speaking of that, I'm not by myself tonight, not with my usual partner. But tonight I will be joined with the one that must be acknowledged in this group, or else hell will rise up above us all. The one, the only, the executive consultant, EC. Come on in. Any day now.
I did. I came immediately. Wow, pause. But look, I am here and I am for another Friday. This is amazing. I'm in a rush too because I was doing stuff. But your partner can't beat COVID that much, so looks like I'm here again. Yes. Yeah, I didn't even see SmackDown.
Well, I bet you didn't, but there were quite a few interesting things that happened. We got a little promo from Paul Heyman saying that we will be basking and be blessed with Roman Reigns' presence in Miami. And not only that, it'll basically be the opportunity for everybody to acknowledge said current Universal Champion with the longest reign ever in WWE right now. And that has pretty much beaten every single person right now. So
this is the part of the show where we're acknowledging the tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Go ahead and throw that one up.
Fine.
There we go. Hey, let's get some of the comments. George Simon Lewis says SmackDown's pretty decent tonight. I did not expect Ricochet to be the new Intercontinental Champion that fast. I didn't expect him to win it at all. Good evening, Unpopular Review fans. This is Mr. Mike Riggs welcoming you to the WWE Friday Night SmackDown Review Show for Friday night, March 4, 2022. And please subscribe to the Unpopular Review YouTube channel, as well as UPR Unpopular Review Gaming. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome my guest at this time, the new World Wrestling Entertainment Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Ricochet. Ricochet, good. Congratulations on becoming the new World Wrestling Entertainment Intercontinental Heavyweight Wrestling Dog, welcome back to the show. I have missed you. Good evening, my tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris. I acknowledge you too, Mr. Mike Riggs. Let's go ahead and talk about it because I believe immediately after this, we actually have AEW Revolution predictions. I believe that's still happening.
Well, we might get started, so let's just see what else is going to happen with all that. But yes, we did have the match for the Intercontinental Championship, and like I said about maybe 2 weeks ago, that there was a possibility that they would just give Sami Zayn a week to be the champion, then they were going to put it on Ricochet. Didn't expect for that to happen, but it did, and
I was quite surprised. It must be because they don't want the Intercontinental Championship to be in that match with Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. That's the only explanation I can have for that, because otherwise than that, I'm a little shocked that they took the title off of Sami Zayn, who I thought was a great champion, and give it to Ricochet. You hear how underwhelming that sounds?
I'm not the one who does creative. I mean, Vince McMahon's the one that says, I have no problem with how creative's going, so he has no problem with Sami Zayn only be champion for a week. Mm-hmm. He has about as short as a reign as The Miz did at one point.
Let's not go there.
Why? It's true.
Let's not do that. That's what we're not going to do.
What? Spill facts?
No, we're not going to go there. Why are you doing this?
Because I can. Anyways, we get Sami Zayn backstage screaming and throwing stuff and throwing a temper tantrum because now he's going to throw up 1,000,001 different conspiracies of why he lost. All because of Johnny Knoxville distracting him and giving Ricochet the win, essentially. But after that...
He's right, you know.
Anyways, we get Michael Cole, Pat McAfee talking for a bit with the whole announcement that Vince McMahon will be the one inducting The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame, which makes sense. And then as they're talking about that, they talk about how Pat is going to have a chance to wrestle at Wrestlemania. And they were wondering who his opponent is going to be. We get Vince McMahon's new number one ass kisser, Austin Theory, coming out, and then he's saying that, I don't know, basically saying that, oh, you were set up. Vince McMahon doesn't like you. He likes me. Blah 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 blah. Guess what? I'm your opponent for WrestleMania. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Ugh, why?" You are obviously very happy because you like Austin Theory, but I do not. And he slaps Pat McAfee across the face, and Pat looks so angry. He looked like he was about to choke that man out.
This makes a lot of sense. You have Pat McAfee, who has a limited amount of knowledge in the ring, but still is able to move in the ring and do some things. And he is very popular when people really like him. And you have Austin Theory, somebody they're trying to push and really become that guy. I think this works. You know, I mean, there was so much crap on the dirt sheets talking about how Vince McMahon was going to be the one to wrestle. And I was cringing. It sounds like, no, you know, Vince is in great shape, but nobody wants to see him wrestle. You know, that's not what they want to see from him. So I think this was a good move. I don't hate it. I mean, yeah, it's a little forced, it's a little out of nowhere, but it could be worse. I'm excited for it. I think this low-key could be a very, very good match.
Could be pretty interesting. But speaking of matches, then we get Naomi coming out, accompanied by Sasha Banks, with a match against Carmella, the self-proclaimed most beautiful woman in WWE, with Queen Zelina by her side. Again, that's debatable for some people, but not in my top 5, but whatever. But regardless, the match was decent at best. It wasn't going to be super long. We all knew that because they had to make room for the other stuff that was going to happen. But it was entertaining. Zelina tried to stop Naomi from winning. Sasha throws her into the steps, which I found very entertaining. Although Big Daddy Cool probably was shouting at his TV, "Why the fuck did you do that to my Zelina?" But Naomi gets the pin her. Did you say she's a princess?
Well, she's a queen. I'm sorry, she's a queen. I disrespected the queen. Don't please forgive me, Zelina.
I think she'll forgive you just fine.
No, I'm Chris, so she should.
Yeah, you're not EC right now.
I'm always EC.
Well, you know what I mean. So, what do we got going on over here with the comments? Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee at WrestleMania. I'm not going to like this match. Yeah, it could be worse, George. Could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
It could be about as big a deal as Tony Khan buying out Ring of Honor. When I saw that, I was like, why? But he does what he wants to do.
Yeah, he can do that. He's rich.
Rich enough. My tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris, Elvis Martinez, trying to take your spotlight, my tribal chief.
Yeah, nobody cares about Elvis.
Carmella and Zelina are going to lose the women's tag team championships as Naomi and Sasha Banks WrestleMania. I think so because their title reign has been horrible. Who have they fought against? Rhea and Nikki. Who else? Nobody for those belts because they don't have enough tag teams in the divisions, men or women, and they keep trying to make these makeshift teams, which most of the time doesn't work.
I can't disagree with you. It was just to get the titles off of Rhea and Nikki because they have other plans for them.
Yeah, which we have seen what those plans are. And then the next thing is, what are they going to do with Carmella and Zelina after they lose those belts? Because I'm pretty sure not everyone's going to want to see a live sex scene in the middle of WrestleMania.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Well, from my understanding, they're not doing that well.
Yeah, not because of what Edge and Lita apparently did try to do but fail, but because I don't care for Carmella and Corey like that. I don't need to. We already get that on Corey and Carmella. We don't need to see that there.
I like Corey and Carmella.
I bet you do. And then Mike Rick says, I am pumped about the title, the biggest main event in WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas, when the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar versus the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, in front of the second largest WWE fans in the history of Peacock and pay-per-view, now pre-owned live events. And then we get a commercial break, and then you got Happy Corbin with his paid group of people playing poker in the back with Madcap Moss to watch Drew McIntyre go against Jinder Mahal again. It's been a while, but since they don't have Madcap Moss to go in for Corbin, because Corbin doesn't want to lose his undefeated streak because he hasn't wrestled since he's been back much.
Well, that's not true. Don't do that.
I said much. I didn't say at all. Debatable.
And of course, I'm pumped for WWE Women's Tag Team Championship battle between Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Curry and Zelina Vega. A little interested.
It'll be nice that for Sasha Banks to have a win at a big event like this. I mean, how many?
She's never won at WrestleMania, so that would be interesting.
It would be nice for her to have a win.
I don't know.
I'm saying it will be nice. It'd be better than having Carmella and Zelina win. Because no offense, but they're one of the worst tag teams I've seen because their title reign is not good.
Can you stop disrespecting your queen?
I am a queen. What do you mean?
I'm not confirming or denying that, darling. And what I'm asking you to do is to stop disrespecting your queen.
I can say what I want. She's not watching this. I can say whatever the hell I want. I don't care.
You can say what you want, but you're disrespecting your queen.
I don't bow down to her. But we get Drew and Jinder going against each other. They have good chemistry from working together as a tag team and then in a feuding storyline. And then Drew hits him with the Claymore 1, 2, 3.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a small commercial break. We'll come back. We have some what makes Beeman steaming for you before we finish up with SmackDown. And then get into some AEW Revolution. I almost forgot what pay-per-view was, and I'm going there. AEW Revolution predictions coming up for Sunday. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
I'm so ready to watch Eddie Kingston lay the smackdown on Chris Jericho. Wrestling's at its best when you have truth we've woven in to the pageantry, and Eddie Kingston is a shooter.
Because, Eddie is the man. But basically he says, give me your best or I'm going to eat you alive. Those are some fighting words if I've ever heard them. And all Jericho could do was tell him, run back what he just said, that he's afraid of failure, and tell him to hit his music just to make it to where Eddie couldn't have the last word. And I was like, God damn, Chris, like, I know you're upset that, you're not the best talker in the game anymore, but Eddie was really taking him to school there for a second.
You know what I want to see?
Mm-hmm.
I need Maxwell Jacob Friedman as the champion and Eddie Kingston coming for that ass as his challenger.
I'm stating facts. That's another. Good day, UPR Universe. This is Matt Stingman, Willie Bailey, coming from Willie's Pit in the basement, what I'm saying, at work. And I just want to let y'all know that this week, what makes Beeman steaming, man, let me tell you. The first thing that made Beeman steaming this week is all the fans over-sexualizing Nikita, whatever her name is, with the big butt, like I just did. But, they all in the uproar. Like, wrestling fans never seen a wrestler with a nice caboose. Like, get over it, you fucking pervs. That's the first thing that made Beeman steaming this week. Another thing that made Beeman steaming, this week, and I just thought about it, and I'm like 2 weeks late, maybe even 3. But, how the fuck Bobby Lashley, why is it that all the black champions lose their belt close to the end of Black History Month? They did it with Kofi, then they just did it with Bobby Lashley. This ain't race, I'm just stating facts. That's another thing that made Beeman steaming this week. Let's go to the AEW side, man. Now, they trying to make it seem like MJF did this monster promo that was just so fucking amazing. Man, fuck, we knew he was about to kick CM Punk. Race, I'm just stating facts. That's another thing that made Beeman steaming this week. Let's go to the AEW side, man. Now, they trying to make it seem like MJF did this monster promo that was just so fucking amazing. Man, fuck, we knew he was about to kick CM Punk in the balls on Wednesday after he called him out there. Come on, AEW. And another thing that made Beeman steaming this week. Tony Khan tried to do the whole Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon, I'm the one that bought the company. No, you the one that put the fucking company out of business. You better Ring of Honor. You don't give a shit. Let's get some of that talent over in AEW then, and let's see that you get some actual fucking storylines together, some prominent storylines at that, all right? That's another thing that made Beamer steaming this week. The fifth and final thing that made Beamer steaming this goddamn week and in the world of wrestling, I'm going to tell you, and I ain't going to say it no more motherfucking times, okay? All right, and this is going to be the last goddamn time. And remember, my views are my views only and does not reflect the unpopular review brand, but look, somebody got to say this shit. We don't give a fuck about Cody Rhodes, if he's staying or going or not, because he's raising a black little princess and a white princess. he got his own Obama, baby.
We get the match that, some people complain about. Some people don't want to see. It is going to be title versus title at WrestleMania. It is being compared to the likes of the Ultimate Warrior and Snitch Slogan. Okay. You know what? And in a sense, it's not, I don't think it's comparable, but it's the last time we've had a champion versus champion at WrestleMania. Now, you've had some people say, well, what sense does this make if it's not a unification title? What sense does it make if they're not stopping the brand?
We saw the way Roman just threw it. He looked at it, smirked, and then threw it.
Will this make it prestigious though? Because you're right. I said that. I said the one thing about that I didn't like is it made Bobby feel like, to me, that's what weakened Bobby more than him fucking going out this way. The fact that Roman took that title and said, "Oh, this your title, Brock? Oh, this your title." You know what I'm saying? So the one you got draped around your arm. But how about this? I got mine right here. Maybe he.
Back to keep discussing and talking more about everything that happened tonight on Smackdown with myself, the Wrestling Doll, and your double of UPR. And speaking of Tribal Chief, before that, we get Shinsuke Nakamura coming out. Why? Not sure why, but he comes in, Pat was happy, and then the Usos attack him the same way they attacked the Viking Raiders at freaking crown African Elimination Chamber this year.
The Usos attacked Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yes, Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. They ambushed him from behind.
I wonder if someone in, unless they're going to be the ones that try to go after the tag team titles at WrestleMania.
I was thinking that why would they attack them unless they were going after the belts? They're not pushing for them to go after the belts. That's the only explanation I can think of. That's the only thing I was thinking. They're not going after them for the belts or anything. But the Raiders weren't out there, so they couldn't ambush them again. And they only ambushed him so that way Roman could come out and then basically say to acknowledge him, and that when he goes to Madison Square Garden tomorrow, he's going to smash whoever's up there, send them back to the back of the line, and basically say, like, none of y'all can touch me.
He's going to smash Brock at WrestleMania.
Smash him, pin him, all that fun stuff.
Can't stack him.
No stacking, just smashing and pinning.
Sounds like a good Friday night.
It is for you. And then we get the Usos against the Viking Raiders for the Tag Team Championships, which I pretty much knew they weren't going to take off of those two tonight. And I don't think they're going to take them off of them at WrestleMania. Especially
not tonight. Not any night.
Not with the run that they're having, as far as everybody loving them, even though they're the bad guys. But it was a pretty decent match at best.
Arguably one of the greatest world title reigns of all times, man.
It was a pretty good match. The Raiders had them on the edge of it for quite a bit. The Usos did the same thing. It was a pretty good level match. Like, they had some decent chemistry as far as wrestling in the ring. And the Usos win with the 1D and then retain the belts that way. Nobody's surprised.
Day one-ish.
Pretty much. And then we get Sonia getting ready for her match against Ronda Rousey for the first time ever on Smackdown that she will be wrestling on that side of the screen.
Correct.
Yes, he has a very good reign, and I don't care too much for it. That's what almost everybody else on this side of it is for. But we get Big E and Kofi coming in for a match against Ridge Holland and Sheamus, which was not going to happen because all they wanted to do was attack the New Day, so that way they could steal the ATV and just destroy it outside, because they knew, oh no, we're not going to have a match. We're just going to destroy their crowd because we don't care about them.
Well, they almost ran over Sheamus with that thing last week, so I completely understand why they do it. They deserve this.
Well, they said something stupid to the New Day. What do you expect?
Stupidity.
They don't like Sheamus anyway, so.
Sheamus is such a great guy. When you show up on fight night, you gotta be prepared, though.
Yeah, no, they weren't prepared for that.
What else we got?
That hopefully Ronda Rousey puts her in something else besides another ankle lock and an armbar.
Why?
I mean, why not?
If
she does an armbar, Charlotte's going to get out of it some way, somehow.
Charlotte Flair is a 13-time world champion. She's going to take care of business.
She will never let us forget how many times she's champion. But we get a little interview.
She doesn't say it as much. WWE says it a lot.
Yeah, I know. They want her to beat her father's record. That's the only reason why they keep mentioning why they keep making her a champion.
Two of the best tag teams of all time.
Yeah, they are. They just can't have them going back and forth with the belt, giving it to each other. It's like, oh, the Usos lost to New Day. Here you go. Oh, it was the New Day lost to the Usos. Here you go. We can't keep doing that. It's gonna get boring. But we get Johnny Knoxville backstage with Kayla, and he says that Sami's a strange little man, and he wanted to remind him that he's a chump, as with this shirt that he wore that said Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Chump, and that he knows that Sami's watching and that he called him up for a challenge at WrestleMania and that he accepts. So we're going to see one of the jackasses versus the conspiracy theorist himself, Sami Zayn, at WrestleMania this year. Which you did call, saying that there was a possibility Knoxville was going to go against Sami Zayn if he had won the Royal Rumble. We're just going to get that, not from him winning the Royal Rumble.
Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn is going to be a better match than you think. Also,
I never said what's good.
I'm just saying overall, Johnny Knoxville can take punishment, and Sami Zayn's going to give him some punishment. I'm perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, he's done a lot of crazy shit over the years, so
that's an understatement.
Yeah, and then we get once around the close to the end, we get Corbin being interrupted by Drew McIntyre puncturing the dartboard with the sword, giving him a message, being like, "Watch out, Corbin, I'm coming for your head."
How is that? How rude is that? Anybody else think that's rude? I think that's rude.
You're the only one who thought that was rude.
I'm sure somebody else there thought that was rude. I thought it was
Elvis did.
Rude. That's somebody. When I say somebody, I mean a human.
I know you do, but that's the only one who thinks that, like you. And then we get our main event match of the night, which is Ronda Rousey and Sonia, who I think they might actually, I think there's a possibility they might take her out of being an authority figure, just have them go back to being in the ring, it looks like, from her consistently interrupting, attacking, getting in matches, which is the Sonia I want to see. I miss her put your hair up and square up era.
Yeah, definitely see that happening soon.
I prefer that over her being an authority figure, because
she's great as an authority figure.
She's a heel authority figure, which she's making everybody hate her, which is exactly what she's
baby face to me.
All the heels are baby faces to you. But the match was, I'm right. The match was entertaining. They slap each other. Sonia gets her for a bit. Ronda gets her for a bit. Charlotte's out making commentary, basically doing like very short answers because she doesn't really want to talk much. She just wants to observe Ronda and study her so she knows what to do when it comes to WrestleMania to retain her belt.
What she'll do.
Yeah, unless she taps for the first time in her career at a live event, like she tapped when Ronda gave her the ankle lock tonight after she beat Sonya by making her tap.
Charlotte Flair's tapped to Sasha Banks about 4 times.
I know. Apparently, the WWE commentators have forgotten because they kept saying that Charlotte's never tapped in her career.
Interesting.
It is interesting. It was entertaining because I was expecting Charlotte to try to put her in a figure 8 and hit her with a natural selection, but she didn't get to because Ronda puts her in the armbar.
Ronda's such a bully.
And Charlotte isn't?
I've never seen her being a bully.
Really?
Not once.
Are you watching the same SmackDown that I am? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen Charlotte be a bully for a very long time, even though
I've never seen Charlotte be a bully. Charlotte is also a queen. I don't know. You don't like other queens.
Well, not my fault. I don't like the queens that are bullies. I don't go for bullies being bullies.
She does not sound. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of SmackDown. We're going to take a last commercial break, come back, wrap it up. Stay with us. Watching a popular review. That's true. Anything can happen in World Wrestling Entertainment. What's the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, though?
Well, the next thing that happened was Tommaso Ciampa was backstage getting ready for his tag match against the Dirty Dogs, and who we get is the return of the one and only Prince Finn Balor. And when I saw that happen, because I heard tag team, I'm like, okay, who are they going to put Ciampa in a tag team with on Raw? And when I saw Ciampa, I won't lie, I did scream and jump for joy a little bit because I am a big Finn Balor fan.
I think he's definitely transitioned to Raw. There's not much more he can do at NXT, and
there really isn't.
I don't think he really fits now. So he needs to transition to Raw. This is a good way to do it with Finn Balor, with Dolph Ziggler, who seems to be the transition monkey for people who come from NXT. So I'm here for it. I still think that Tommaso Ciampa can't really do much on the main roster, but so far, so good.
I mean, what can Ciampa do back in NXT? Nothing else. So what do you think they're going to have him do on the main roster?
There's a 24/7 title that Dana Brooke holds. That's where I see Ciampa going.
I think he can do better than going out to the 24/7 championship.
That's his future. They might try to push him for a couple weeks, but after WrestleMania, he'll be chasing that belt.
So like with what AEW does every time they get someone from WWE, push them for like 2 weeks and then push them to the back burner because they have way too many people. And now with Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor.
Except for the deal is that WWE stops pushing them because they're not clicking on the main roster, whereas opposed to AEW just not doing it because they just don't have the space.
Yeah, they don't have the space because they put in too many people.
This Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of showing up for my first AEW pay-per-view, All Elite Wrestling Revolution. It's right here in my backyard. If it's anything like the AEW Dynamite I went into, you do not want to miss any live video that I do.
And that is the end of tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown Review.
Take us home.
So on Mondays, we get at 6 o'clock Around the Blocks with Mike Knox for the intelligent wrestling fans. So no trolls. So Elvis, you can't come and watch. And then after Raw, you get Big Daddy Cool and the executive consultant talking all things Raw after 3 long, grueling hours, which if they cut it down to 2, it would be an A show like SmackDown. On Tuesdays, you get NXT with Bad Guy Jack and Captain Shakespeare, which happens in our backyard every Tuesday and is always entertaining to watch. On Wednesdays, you got AEW Dynamite with Divine Intervention and All Elite Joker. And Fridays, you have myself and who usually is supposed to be Mike Around the Blocks, Mike Knox with me, but more so now it's been the executive consultant.
Yeah, pulling quadruple duty. Why am I pulling quadruple duty, you ask? Because I do 2 episodes of UPRE that you see Tuesday and Thursday. Find out what we're reviewing Thursday, and then go backwards and find out what we're reviewing Tuesday. Stay with us.
These are my coworkers.
Jobs, please.
What if somebody calls the cops?
And says what? I spent $5,000 at a strip club. Send help.
Hammer time. I was born to flex. Diamonds on my neck. I like boarding jets. I like more than sex. But nothing in this world. I like more than sex. We didn't do anything.
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance. What's black and blue and dead?
That's right. This Tuesday, we're going to be reviewing The Batman, which just came out today. And then on Thursday, Ladies Who Hustle Month begins, and we're going to be reviewing Hustlers. So looking forward to that. Lots of content. Still have Unpopular Review Gaming, as they were going to do another episode of Super Smash Brothers and a few other things. I know Call of Duty's coming out. It's going to be a great time to be a fan of UPR, which we say every single week because it's the truth and it does not slow down. Take us home, Barb.
Well, tonight's been fun as always, and I look forward to being back here next week. Hopefully with my usual partner. If not, we shall see who will be able to be with me that night. Maybe it'll be EC, maybe it'll be Bad Guy. Who knows? We'll find out.
Bye.